Yeah, we're losing our son.
Pretty upset about this, actually. I don't know if I'm ready for this conversation. He's already graduated,
Yes.
which makes me sick to my stomach just to even think about. Luckily, he's here a lot, so that's good.
He is here a lot. So, I know you mentioned that you were going to be crying at his graduation.
Didn't cry.
He did not cry.
No crying.
Did you even,
No.
even think about it? You were just like...
You said you cried not around people, but I don't know if I believe that.
Well, I was also setting up all of his pictures and
There was a lot going on.
his entire party ready, and so I'm organizing all of his pictures from the time he was a little boy to older, and yes, so if you watch our Shot of the Acres videos, you'll see lots of that. Me filming that and crying.
So it wasn't bad.
No.
I thought it was going to be worse, but it wasn't as big the deal as it was. But maybe it's partially because of this other thing that's happening that kind of took away the thunder of the graduation for me.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, that makes me even more oh my gosh. Because then he's actually...
Yeah. So Steven, there was a busy month, it feels like, in his life, or 2 months even. So he graduated from college April, the very end of April, with an associate's degree in Chinese, and then a month later, pretty much, or less than a month, graduated from high school, and then literally the day after he graduated, he opened his mission call. So all this stuff was going on, planning for a mission, getting all of his paperwork in. So
we knew it was coming.
Yeah, our church, a lot of the youth that are 18 and 19, depending on if you're a boy or girl, choose to go on missions. So they're gone for 2 years or 18 months.
And he'll be 2 years.
Yes.
2 years gone.
2 years.
All the way across the world.
Right.
Literally, you have to go all the way around the world to get to this place.
So Stephen opened up his mission call the day after he graduated. We had a party, had all of his decorations, his graduation
Jamie did a good job on the decorations,
his pictures and stuff like that set up. And
lots of compliments on the pictures everywhere.
We had him stand kind of in front of people, invited a lot of people, and had everyone make their guesses. So I had everyone, there's a video out there on our YouTube channel of everyone's guesses and stuff like that. But I had them pick a place in the United States and outside of the United States, because literally you could go anywhere pretty much. And so...
Yeah, and he was really, really hoping to speak Chinese.
Yes.
That was his biggest thing.
He wanted to speak Chinese, so the number one guess was Hong Kong.
And there's not really any missions in China.
There's not. There's one little mission in China, and so...
Wasn't likely to get called there, let's just say that. And so we didn't, I don't know, we wanted him to speak Chinese, but then that means you have to go somewhere else, pretty much.
So what were your picks?
So I picked Scotland, Ireland, Chinese speaking, because I heard somebody say that had happened.
Which
I don't even know if that's a real thing.
Here's Scotland, Ireland, and Chinese speaking, but
isn't that mostly Chinese? I think the population of Chinese people is more than European there, right?
Anyways,
or
there was somebody.
I didn't know there was a single.
There was somebody that we knew that did go to Scotland, speaking Chinese. So apparently there is.
I know. I heard it was a thing, so I picked it.
A need there. So
and I would like to go.
And
there.
he would love to go to Scotland, Ireland. So
like
maybe that's why he picks. He's like, ooh, maybe Stephen goes there and can go visit one day. And then your other pick was.
And then I picked San Diego, California, which I also don't know if there's a Chinese mission there. But I figured I was thinking California, New York, Florida. Seems like places
where they may have some Chinese.
I was trying to think of where Chinatowns are, but I don't know why I said San Diego. But I guess that doesn't make sense. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. There is a Chinatown in California.
In Los Angeles, I'm sure. San Francisco probably has one. I don't know.
San Diego, though.
I didn't do any Googling. I was
not as specific with my guesses.
You weren't gonna even guess. I had to force her to guess.
I did not want to guess.
Where did Jared guess?
I don't like guessing. Jared, where did you guess?
I mean, I guessed Mexico because I wanted him to speak Spanish.
There you go.
As out of the country, and then I picked New York.
You wanted him to speak Spanish, you said?
Yeah.
Why?
Then he can know three different
Okay,
languages.
I wasn't sure there was a reason.
So he'd be like,
Because he already knows Chinese,
So
and
you
then
can
you
talk
know
behind our back, is that what it
Spanish and English. That's
yeah, so
like
you know multiple languages.
if you
'Cause
know
Jared
if you
went
know
to
those
Mexico.
3 languages, you can talk pretty much the whole entire world.
Yeah.
That's why I thought would be cool.
Yeah.
And then New York, because I've known a lot of people that have gone to New York Mandarin speaking.
Well, we've actually went and like seen Chinatown.
Yeah, we get in trouble every time we say Chinese speaking, by the way, on social media. We say Chinese speaking.
Mandarin.
It's Mandarin. That's like saying you're speaking American.
But it is like Mandarin Chinese speaking is what it is called, Mandarin Chinese. And he got
Chinese.
his degree in Chinese.
I'll tell you what
It's
language
not
it is.
Mandarin that he got his degree in. Like it actually is Chinese. But
True. But I guess there was also like going into other things for that too, right?
Yeah.
Because he had to study the culture and the...
Yeah. So, but
Anywho.
So,
And you had to force you to guess.
I what?
I had to
yeah.
force you to guess, and you guessed.
So I was the last person to guess, and I just was picking where nobody had guessed. Like I was like, fine, I guess I'll just pick Africa. I said Africa. I wasn't specific about mine. I was just Africa because no one had even.
Yeah, I was like,
picked-
that's not a country. That's a continent.
Yeah.
So you
Somewhere
1
in
out of
Africa.
7 odds of getting that one right, I suppose.
Some
1 out of
in
6
Africa.
even because you're not picking
No
North
one
America.
even picked. Maybe somebody picked in the African continent, but I don't know. There weren't many people
I don't know.
that were at the party picking Africa.
No, people weren't.
And
Almost
so-
everyone was picking China, which was hilarious because
Yeah.
you can't go to China. I was trying to tell everyone, like, you can't go to China.
No.
They're like, China, China, China. Like, you're just picking a place you can't go. Like, why don't you just put it in the ocean somewhere?
Right. So I picked Africa, and then I just said Nevada.
Nevada?
Nevada.
Nevada.
How do you say it, Jared?
Nevada. You're
Nevada.
completely
Both Jared
wrong.
and I are
It's
from
obviously
there.
Nevada.
It's Nevada.
You're completely wrong.
Have
So
you
you-
ever really said Nevada?
No, there's no way.
I
I said
hate
Nevada.
when people say
But
that.
you're also
Who says
from
Nevada?
The
Is that like a
western,
East
You're from
Coast
the
thing,
western
you think?
states more.
Does it actually bother you guys being
Yes.
from Nevada that people say Nevada?
I hate Nevada.
It's weird when people say
You hate
it.
the state of Nevada or you hate saying Nevada?
That's not a state. Nevada is not a state.
Wait, I don't mind. When
Nevada
people say it,
is
it's
a
kind of
state.
like.
Do you
you're
say
saying it wrong.
Oregon or Oregon?
Oregon.
Yeah, it's Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon.
And when I was up there, people would always, you'd hear people say Oregon, and I was like, Oregon.
Oregon.
It's Oregon.
But that's why I
incorrect.
think if you're living in the western side, like you
Utah, for
people
instance.
say. No one says that. But yes, no, it's Nevada.
Sorry, that was a little distraction.
Yeah,
Anyway, so she picked Nevada.
I did.
I'm gonna start saying it all. I don't think I could. I don't think I'd actually say it if I was not thinking about it.
No.
It just sounds horrible.
Jared's upset over there.
I don't like
He's
it
like,
at all. I really don't
yes,
like it.
I don't usually see Jared looking very angry.
Steve does
He
say
looks frustrated.
Halloween though. You do say
I
Halloween.
don't like Halloween.
It is
either.
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
But you do say Halloween.
Yeah, but it's not Halloween. It is
But
Halloween. That
I
is
grew up saying
actually
Halloween.
correct. Mhm.
I grew up saying
That makes
Halloween.
sense.
Halloween.
Your family speaks Utahese, so
Right.
It's Halloween.
Nevada, Halloween. But
wow. How do you
But I
spell
did-
Hall?
I did film Steven.
Ball.
Yeah, but when you
Wall.
add the
Call.
stuff at the end of it, usually the English language changes. So I did have his call here, where he opens it.
Look how cute he is. He's
There
still
he
like a
is.
little boy.
It's a TikTok that I filmed, so we're gonna play.
Look, he's wearing a suit and he's got the Nikes on.
Yep.
Think they'll let him wear that in his mission like that?
I don't
awesome.
know.
He might try.
He may try. All right, here it is.
Assigned to labor in the Nevada, Las Vegas West Mission, and we're prepared to preach the gospel in the Mandarin Chinese language.
He looks pretty excited. It's hard to see maybe, but he is pretty pumped.
That would be Uncle Derek.
That was Derek with the weird tongue roll.
There he is. Super excited.
He was super anxious, I think, to find out what was going to happen.
I think he was super nervous, and so
He fumbled a lot, like getting to that point in
Yeah,
the thing.
he was.
Which everyone's nervous. You're
It's weird
about-
that it's towards the bottom though. When I opened mine, it was at the very top.
Yeah,
it was
mine
like
was
the
not-
first
Really?
thing.
Mine was near the top too.
You are assigned to labor in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was
like
near
right
the
off the top,
top. Chihuahua, Chihuahua, or whatever.
and
you
then
said.
it's like
Chihuahua.
embolded
So
too.
Jared opened his mission call to Chihuahua, Mexico, and how did you pronounce it?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. I kind of prefer Chihuahua.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
it's I think it's cooler.
Like-
So explain your reasoning for saying Chihuahua?
I don't know. I wanted to go to an island.
He wanted to go to an island.
I wanted to go to like Fiji or some island. So I was in my
So-
mind. I was like,
He's
I don't think I can
Island.
spell
when I
Chihuahua
saw it,
right now.
hua hua, I was like, that's an island.
Yeah.
I
he's
can't
like,
spell it or say it correctly right now.
Chihuahua.
That's an impossible word. That's a tough one.
Yeah. So he thought
It's easier
he
to
was
spell when
going
you say
to-
Chihuahua.
Did you know there was a place called
Hawaiian.
Chihuahua, Mexico before he opened that? I didn't.
I don't know. I can't.
I don't
can't
know either.
remember.
Like I've heard of Juarez and stuff, but I have never heard of
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. I don't think.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chihuahua.
It's the capital of. It's the state and the.
There's
City.
states in Mexico.
Yep.
So if you learn that
It's the
you
state
probably
and the
have
capital
heard it.
city of the state.
Yeah.
So it's Chihuahua, Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Oh, I didn't know there was a state Chihuahua either. Name another state in Mexico, Jamie. Right now.
Sonora.
I don't know. I don't know any of
Monterrey.
them.
Yeah. I'm just pointing out. It's not.
So
just-
how did you pronounce your
So mine, I got called to Curitiba, and I called it Curitiba.
Curitiba?
Curitiba.
But is
Brazil.
how you would read it as an American though. Like it is
Yeah.
clearly no one would say Curitiba and
Curitiba.
Curitiba.
But yeah, Steven,
Uncle Derek's was funny too. 'Cause
Yeah.
his was
his
Tucson.
was Tucson, Arizona. He said Tucson.
Tucson, Arizona, which was hilarious.
It was.
So I want to know what everyone's reaction was when they heard Las Vegas, Nevada, because we're in Utah. That's right next door, and you guys are both literally from there. Like
both
grew up
Jared
there.
and I were born and raised in Las Vegas.
More Jamie than Jared. Jared was like 50-50, I guess.
That's true.
How old were you?
50-50 right now, yes. Because
Okay.
I moved up when I was after I was 15.
Oh,
so.
is that you were that old when you came up? Okay, so you grew up. You were born and raised.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in
Yeah.
I
Vegas.
was-
I was 15 and a half. When
I
came
was
up.
18.
I was thinking it was like 13,
So-
but yeah.
I was there 3 years longer than Jared. I just finished out my high school.
And so was it like so for me? I heard it and knowing that your whole family, so almost everybody in the room there, not everybody, but a lot of the people in the
A
room
good majority
from Las
of the
Vegas.
people in the room are from Las Vegas.
And so when I heard it, I was waiting for Steven to be like, "Just kidding." I
Yeah.
totally thought it was like him messing with everybody,
Yeah.
but he was pretty nervous to be doing a joke.
And
Yeah, I don't know if he was ready for a joke.
I just don't think Steven would have had that in him to joke. Like, I think he was just like, I just got to
You don't
read
think
this
he's funny?
paper. I just think he wouldn't have joked right
No,
there.
I don't think either.
He seemed really nervous.
So what was your reaction, Jared, when you heard him say Las Vegas? Like, what did you think?
I mean, I was surprised because, I mean, I go there twice a year or more.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just down the road. Like literally, it's like a 5-hour drive.
Six
so I was like, actually, just last week we were going to be down there
yeah,
for graduation
yeah.
of some Anadia's
Like,
family.
it's a place that people, our family,
Is that where
Could
you were
visit
supposed to
often.
go, but you stayed to work on your yard?
Yep.
And was that wasn't the same weekend? That was the same weekend he opened it. So you were
Mhm.
supposed to be there.
I was
when
supposed to be
he-
in Vegas, yeah.
he was supposed to be in Vegas when he opened
okay.
his call saying he was going to Vegas.
That's kind of funny. Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
weird, right?
In the exact.
Yeah, it was very, I mean, it's just like, oh, that's where I live. That's where we lived.
Yeah.
And so it is
Yeah.
different, but there is a big difference of being Mandarin speaking.
That is weird. That there's when I heard Las Vegas, I thought no way Mandarin. I also thought that I was like, well, I guess he doesn't get to speak Chinese.
Yeah.
And then it was like Chinese. I'm like, oh, well,
So
I didn't think he was going out of the country. Personally, I
I
didn't
didn't
think he
either.
was going out of the country. Just
so
because
I did.
Chinese.
So I thought he was going out of the country, but then when it was explained to me, like what both of your guys' logic was, it made more sense. I thought for sure he's going to be going out of the country. I'm not for sure, but I thought there was a good chance that he was going out of the country.
and I thought more he was going to go somewhere English speaking. Not necessarily that I was favoring in the country. I thought it was going to be an English speaking country
Yeah.
that he would be speaking Chinese in.
Mainly because Steven is fluent in Chinese, and they did a little assessment for him and stuff like that. And it's more beneficial to send somebody on a mission that is like in Las Vegas, where there's mostly English speaking, but a tiny majority of Chinese speaking, that for him to go and already know the language and speak Chinese to them, rather than having to learn a language.
Because you're not going to be immersed in it.
From a
You're not
lot of the
gonna-
people that I heard going Chinese speaking, it took them almost their whole entire mission to actually feel comfortable to talk.
And that was in like Taiwan.
And that was in like Taiwan.
Yeah.
And,
And they didn't read or write.
No,
no.
they can't read or write.
And so that's where it's like, if they're in the United States trying to learn Chinese,
You'll never do it.
they would never learn it
No.
because they're not immersed in it. And so that's why I was like, he's going to be sent probably state bound Chinese speaking, because that it's very valuable to have someone that already knows the language, that can go hit the ground running, be talking to people. He'll learn even more Chinese talking to
Oh,
Chinese people for sure. But he already knows language, and he'll be able to talk.
Using
And,
his skill set that he has.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
the best
there's
of-
some logic there.
Yeah, so I think that's. And
But
I
you were
understand
thinking
that now.
out of the country, and you were
I
also
did.
thinking Chinese speaking, or you're thinking up in the air on Chinese?
I was thinking Chinese speaking.
Okay.
that's why I chose Mexico, because I thought if he was going to go out of the country, it's probably not going to be Chinese speaking.
Maybe Spanish.
Personally.
Yeah.
Like, just it might be just
Maybe it's-
some
And
I
random
picked-
different
and
language.
that's why I picked Scotland, because I was like,
But-
it's English speaking, so he would be going there for the same
Yes.
purposes
Mm-hmm.
like Las Vegas, where you're not learning Chinese probably in
I
Scotland.
did not see Las Vegas. I did not think Las Vegas. I was
That
thinking
was the
either
furthest-
California or New York.
That-
You're from there. Did you know there was a Chinatown in Las Vegas?
No, because
Me
I
neither.
don't. I think it may have been fairly new. I don't
Yeah, I have
know.
no idea.
Or there's a place I'm not visiting. I'm not going to
Yeah.
Chinatown in Las Vegas. We lived a little bit further away from Vegas, where we mostly grew up, more like Henderson area, like 25, 30
outskirts.
minutes away. But that was the furthest thing from my mind. I said Nevada just to do a pick, and it ended up being Nevada.
Yeah, so Jamie
which is
got it
the
right.
weirdest thing.
But she said a state again, so I don't know if that counts.
I mean, there's only 3 missions.
You said a continent and a state in your two guesses.
I
you
didn't want to
pick an
have to
actual
pick.
place.
I didn't want to have to pick. I didn't put any effort in it or any thought
did.
into it, and so I was like, well, if I'm making me pick, I'm gonna pick this.
Makes sense.
But it was weird.
I also thought he might go stateside because only one person in the room knew where he was going because he printed off all the papers. And when I said, "Oh, and you got to make a U.S. guess too," to him, he kind of like froze for a second. You know that like because he was like, "Oh, I picked this place for like I forget where he picked,"
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, "Oh, don't forget your U.S. guess." And he had like "Oh, I don't have one." And I was like, "Oh, you don't, huh?"
Some people can't keep secrets.
But by then I had already picked mine. I was like the
Yeah.
first person to pick. So,
Yeah,
but I also was like, "Oh yeah, he's for sure."
yeah. Staying in the.
He's staying. But I knew that. I kind of felt the same way as Jared, where it was like, I think there's a really good chance he stays. I would have thought it would have been a way bigger, like, metropolitan area. But Las Vegas is kind of big, I guess. But
I guess
thought it was big.
it's growing. It's just, but I didn't.
You don't
think
think
I didn't think it was
Chinese
growing Chinese
population
wise.
there, though.
I know,
It's
but
growing
I-
firstly like Spanish wise for
even,
sure.
Even
Yeah.
New York, though,
But-
like, there's just a tiny
Yeah.
area
But the population
that
there's
is
gotta be
Chinese,
quadruple.
Like Chinatown.
That's all Chinese, but there is a lot of people in New York that speak Chinese
Yes.
too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where.
Yes.
But I mean, I think he seemed super excited about it.
Yes.
It's really close, which is good for us as parents because, like, we're joking around about, hey, like, we're losing our son, but he's only going to be right down the
I
road.
have a different mindset, I think, because, like, if he were to be going somewhere far away, I wonder if it would be harder. Like, because I'm like, oh man, he feels he's gonna go so far away. He's gonna be so far gone. Like, but just the idea of knowing that he's like not that far away, even though I'm not gonna see him for 2 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it helps knowing the area though too.
Too like I. Feel
I know where he's
familiar
at.
Yeah.
and very comfortable. It's not like he's in a place that I'm like I can't even picture where he's at. I can't even like play, but instead I like actually can't.
Although I
picture
will say
where he's
it
at.
might be more dangerous than being in a different country.
Yeah,
I mean,
very-
No offense, Las Vegas,
It could be.
but you look a little sometimes.
Yes.
It's starting to go down that road for sure. Personally,
I think the area
It's
that
definitely
he
going
may
down that
be at could definitely be considered not the safest.
so he said he's west.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's gonna get a mixture because he's gonna get Summerlin. He's gonna get
Yeah, he'll
where
get the super wealthy.
he'll get
areas,
super
too.
wealthy and super
So-
on the other
But
side.
the Chinatown is closer to the strip.
But the
Yeah,
Chinatown, so there's the Chinatown area, and then there's this big old area of trailer parks. And
Gotcha.
then apartments all surrounding the Chinatown area.
Mhm.
You have to get a little bit further out in the outskirts to get more like homes.
And he goes all the way out to like way west, like all of
He could.
western.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's hard to
Nevada.
know where he's going to be, but if he's Chinese speaking,
He
my
might just be
guess is he's
everywhere in a
going
way.
to be-
Yeah.
He'll probably have a car where he can drive
Yeah.
long distances if there's anyone that speaks Chinese.
Yeah.
It depends on how many. I mean, we don't know any details yet of like how many missionaries speak Chinese in this mission.
No.
He could be the only dude
He may
who
be
does.
the
He
only,
might
or
only
the
be.
first one going there to speak Chinese. He
Yeah.
may be like
because they just barely started like a
Chinese
church there
Yeah.
that is Chinese
Chinese-based.
speaking,
Yeah.
and so they might be like, all right, I guess we're throwing.
That'll be pretty cool though, because he's like a brand new church. They're gonna be super excited. Hey, we finally get a missionary
Yeah.
that speaks Chinese.
Yeah, it's like
They're gonna
here-
treat him super well.
I can actually like have him talk to a friend because he's not going to be like, fumbling through Chinese. Or
They're gonna
whatever.
treat him super well. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
He'll like it, I think. He seemed really excited. He was anxious as all get up to find out, which I think everybody is when they're
I
about to
think
do that.
he really just wanted to speak Chinese, and he got that. So I think.
And so now he's a Nevadian.
Yep.
I can't even say that together.
No, it doesn't even work.
That sounds disgusting.
Nevadian? No, what do you call somebody who's from Nevada?
From Nevada.
No, like you would say a Utah
Nevadan?
or an Oregon.
A Nevadan.
A Nevadan.
People say Nevadan. Yeah, I was curious. I didn't know.
I
I've
would
never
say
heard
Ne-
anybody
I
say
would
it.
say
Nevadan.
Nevadan.
Most people
don't
aren't
really
actually
say
from
that.
there.
Yeah, Nevadan.
They're like moved
Most
there.
people go there.
It'll be cool
move
that he
there
can go
and
back
visit
though
there.
and visit.
Yeah, he can
and-
easily go visit people. Like if he
Stay
decides
in
to
touch
bring a
with
wife home,
people.
like other people, you know. That's not
Good.
what that.
We're not talking about that right now.
He could.
No, but so
Topic number
yeah,
2.
so 2 years he will leave the beginning of October. He'll leave Utah the very, very beginning of October.
Yep, he'll be
Ish.
out of here.
Yep. And he'll be gone for 2 years.
Good riddance.
Dos Anos.
Yep, 2 full years. There'll be a lot of differences in our family and on our
What do
channels.
we do without Steven?
It'll be very weird because he's nice to have around. He's helpful.
He's one of our easiest kids
He's
for sure. Maybe
easiest
maybe
kid.
the easiest kid.
How do you feel about Taylor being the now oldest?
Now she's in charge, I guess. I mean, she's not here either. She left us too. We should do a whole other podcast about that.
Yeah. Taylor got her license and she has left us too. So yeah, we're kind of dwindling down now.
Yeah, now we just have like the littles again. And right now I don't know where they're at.
Yep. So 2 years, it'll be weird. Our channel will look a little different, but that's kind of what's happening, and that's us losing our son for the future.